My friend, welcome back to the conclusion. Session 8. Congratulations, I'm proud of you. Along the path of empowerment, and the path of awakening, there are countless realizations. And to name them all would be basically impossible. It's like trying to drink the ocean with a fork. And some of these, such as the nature of attachment, doing things for the sake of doing them without regard for results, mastering integrity, and in all these. Some of these are more central than others, and if you want to explore some of my other work, I do go into detail on these and many other concepts and pointers in much greater detail. In the Phoenix sessions, for example, in 21 Conscious State Redesign, you make these things more clear for you. And with the tool sets and understandings gained from these videos, at least, you will be able to, hopefully, be able to make physical living not so much a chore. Because after all, the body decays over time. It doesn't really need to get in your way. And the idea is not really to chase pleasure, because desiring pleasure is like trying to quench your thirst with salt water. The more that you get it, the more that you want it. And to want pleasure is to lack it. So what are we supposed to do when there is no way, when nobody knows the way, and the only way that there is the path of a bird across the sky, leaving no trace in its passing, or trying to write your name in the wind? It's to realize that life is not going anywhere, and that there is, after all, nothing to be attained, my friend. This is very big, and it may be impossible to admit that all of our well-laid traps for happiness are in fact just a bunch of ways of kidding ourselves that by meditation, psychoanalysis, hatha yoga, Zen Buddhism, or some combination of mental science, we are going to somehow save ourselves from a final plop of nothing, to quote Alan Watts. To know that you can do nothing is just the beginning. Lesson 1 is I give up. And the awareness that's aware of hearing these words before a feeling appears is the exact same changeless awareness that is aware of the feeling while it is present and begging for your attention, which is totally fine. And that is what you realize when you quote-unquote give up. When you recognize the awareness that you can rest in while your mind notices a feeling, and keep resting in the recognition that you are aware for 5, 10, 30 seconds, again and again and again. When you can surrender any and all allegiance to thoughts, when that same awareness present during emotional turmoil, and recognize that it's also present when all emotional appearances disappear from view, when they disappear from your awareness in that moment, when your pain, when your struggle, when your trauma and conditioning, when that is simply gone, when you intend with conscious intent to notice that which remains in the absence of it, just to stop thinking. Drop all mental containers. This is like sky. Now you can say that the fireworks, the emotions, the pain, these are enabled by the space of your sky-like awareness. They arise like clouds. And without the spaciousness of the sky, the presence of the clouds, couldn't be present. And very similarly, the presence of your emotions, the presence of your energy, so to speak, of your being, could not be present without the space of your awareness of it. All of your direct and immediate experience happens inside of this spacious awareness, this cognizance, this sentience, this ability to know, this universal ability to know this present moment. All these forms can occur, they occur within that. You experience these things. So all these clouds appear in the sky of you. You are always unaffected by it. The sky is not affected by its contents. And awareness, remember, is the container for the content, for the appearances that arise and pass away. Exactly the same way that a movie screen is not really affected by the appearances that are projected onto it. Even if the movie, the contents of the movie are very dramatic and intense and engaging and gripping, if your pain is so gripping, the screen is still unaffected by it. And even when this projector is turned off, the screen is still the screen. And that screen was the exact same screen, even when it was suffering and sadness and pain and happiness and joy and love. And what this course is meant to do is start pointing to the fact that we don't really tend to notice the screen because the movie, our pains and sufferings and traumas, they're also engaging, they're also entertaining, they're also gripping. We get sucked into the story, into the definitions that we've built up around ourselves, this accumulation of personality preferences. We only tend to perceive what is projected onto the field of our awareness, but we miss the fact that there is the awareness of it, which is just effortlessly there. Just as you're aware of the pains in your body and the pleasure of its grace, you are aware of it. You are not it. Just like you're not your fingernails, you're not your hair. The more clearly that you see, you're not affected by even your own thoughts, and by your emotions, by your conditionings, by your beliefs, by your stories, by your history, by your past, by your future projections, the freer you are. And when you see a thing, you are free of it. And when you're free of it, you're free to truly love it. You're free from yourself. You're free to truly love yourself. And that is the highest freedom you could ever wish for. Freedom from yourself. Because then you're free to love yourself. And similarly, when your emotional fireworks start firing off and exploding in your sky of awareness, is the fact that you are aware affected? No. No, you're still unaffected. So you can rest as who you truly are, as the immaculate and pristine sky, again and again and again, until demonstrated to yourself that this is undeniable reality, that it is there. When you're not thinking about it, you are still there. You can start relinquishing attachment to outcome. It quite naturally falls away. And you don't become a passive observer about your life, or somehow afraid to do things. You don't just unplug entirely. You actually become, when you realize at the core of your being that you're unaffected by any sort of outcome, you're not dependent on the outcome, and therefore you are free to choose whatever outcome you desire. Free of your tightly held beliefs and expectations for certain outcomes. Because you're identified with the characters on the movie screen, and you need to do these things and perform these sets of actions in order to get your desires. All this stuff won't matter to you much anymore. You'll develop a very relaxed and confident attitude towards your life, no matter what occurs. Because you're not dependent on all these forms, on the appearances. No matter what, you just know that you are, and because you've invested your sense of self and well-being in yourself, free of thoughts, simply resting in the truth of yourself, the constant free nature of I am spacious clarity. You don't have to remove your stories consciously. You don't have to get rid of the clouds. You can just, every so often when you need to, you poke holes through the layers of clouds and see that which remains, the sky. You don't need to control your mind in any way. All you have to do is interrupt the seeming continuity of your intellectual process of the thinking mind, and it'll all fall apart for you quite seamlessly, quite effortlessly. You'll see the illusion for what it is. This play of this dynamic, great Leela, this great drama. It'll no longer seem real. And you won't believe so much in your troubles and in your drama and in your pain and your chronic suffering, because you know it's fake. You know it's all self-projected. You know it's all an illusion. It doesn't make it hurt less, but you know it's an illusion, and you can at least have fun with it. You have choice, that you are the free agent and the creator of your own life, and you are clear of the fact that you are transcendentally free and eternally unaffected by whatever seems to happen to you. This is all established very effortlessly by simply interrupting the continuity of thought. This is the highest teaching. And if you want to peek behind the curtain of this course a little bit more, in a yogic context, and know and understand and experience for yourself the mechanisms of how and why yoga works, understand why you can recondition your body, take it to the next level, recondition your mind, take active, conscious, direct control over your emotional state, to really, really dive into this and to transcend limiting beliefs, to seriously apply these principles to a robust yogic practice, then I encourage you and invite you to check out the horizontal path. I mentioned it several times during the course. And I want you to enjoy the difficult parts of life, to truly relish the pain that living brings. Not to suffer, but simply to see that life has meaning, that you matter, that you are infinitely valuable and important and wonderfully unique. To know that life has meaning precisely because it is finite And mortality, in fact, gives meaning to human life. Peace and love and friendship. These are precious because we know they cannot endure. After all, a butterfly that lives forever is not really a butterfly at all. And you, my friend, are no caterpillar. You are no butterfly. You are not your pain. You are not your traumas, your body, or your mind. You, your true nature, is that which remains in the absence of all. You are, and I love you.